Hello, this is Gregory Wilson at WeddingSpeechMaster.com. I'm going to give you 10 tips for overcoming the fear of public speaking. I remember when I was a small child at a family dinner gathering. I was so nervous and shy that I couldn't make eye contact with anyone there. I slipped underneath the table, a place where I felt safe and secure. Overcoming the fear of public speaking is all about finding your safety zone amidst dozens or even hundreds of people. Once these techniques are used, you'll find that no amount of people will be able to break your concentration and confidence. The best way to overcome this fear is to use the following practices on a regular basis. If you're going to be speaking a lot, you'll have plenty of opportunities to practice. While I'm certainly no master, these tips help me to give decent speeches that convey all the thoughts I want to get across. Apply them to weddings or anything else. Enjoy. Number 1. It's all in the mind. Our perspective of any situation can be forcibly changed according to how we think about it. This has a lot to do with the preconceptions about what we think is possible and what we can or cannot do. Certain types of thinking can sabotage our public speaking skills right out of the gate. For example, telling yourself that you're a horrible public speaker when you have very little onstage experience is a sabotage effort. Believing that your innately shy and introverted nature cannot be changed even with practice is also an effort of sabotage. It may sound cliché, but the power to overcome any obstacle, including fear of public speaking, is dominated by the mind. Believe me, if an extreme introvert like myself can get on stage and pitch an idea that I'm passionate about, then you can too. Number 2, just do it. It happens to me every time I go to a public speaking event. Apprehensive thoughts fill my mind, such as, what if I forget the words, or what if they think my idea is stupid? Then, once I take the stage, I enter a zone of extreme focus where clarity seems to find me. After the speech, I feel a great sense of accomplishment to know that everyone I spoke to understands my ideas to some extent. Every time you speak in public, it becomes a bit easier each time. This would never happen if I hadn't taken the initiative to actually go through with it. No amount of preparation in front of the mirror can give this type of first-hand experience. The sooner you start, the sooner you'll be walking down easy street. Pay your dues. While the dynamic for public speaking feels quite different than practicing the same speech at home, preparation will always lead to a more chiseled speech. My best advice is to use a series of mental cues. Divide the content of the speech into bullet point sections, with each bullet targeting an important topic to cover. This can be written down on index cards. Use these cues to remind yourself of each section as you work through the speech. This method is superior to writing a full speech on paper because it allows your words to flow from your head. Reading directly from paper makes the speech sound scripted and can lead to unusual pauses as you read. Don't worry, the cues will remind you of the points you want to make, and if you're interested in the topic, the dialogue will flow naturally. It sounds counterproductive, but stop practicing about 30 minutes before the speech. This method has been proven to result in greater memory retention and lower occurrences of sudden forgetfulness. Number 4, it's not about you. When you think about it, public speaking is about the audience, not yourself. The point of public speaking is to relay important information to a group of people in a limited time slot. The goal of the day is to get the juiciest bits of information on your topic in their minds. If you can do that, then your job is a success. Think about it from this point of view. I have a job to do. These people need information, and I'm the only person suited for the job. It's time to give them what they need. Once you start thinking of yourself as the hero and not the victim, the mental block of fear will start to chip away. Understand the audience. Getting to know the audience is an important part of connecting with the people you're speaking to. Let's say that you're an aerospace engineer speaking to a group of mechanical engineers. While the two specialties are very similar, differences can be present which cause a disconnection between you and the audience. Spending a few minutes before and after your public speech can increase your intuitive understanding of the demographics, likes, dislikes, interests, goals, and what they expect to get out of the speech. It may be surprising to find out that the crowd was expecting a different kind of information, or that the speech was too simplistic or complex for the scope of the event. Number 6, don't hide from criticism. Speaking with the audience members after the speech has an additional benefit. Some individuals will be more than willing to tell you what they liked or disliked about the speech. Others will be more reserved, in which case you have to pry a little. This type of feedback, whether positive or negative, is essential in the development of any public speaker. Just like any endeavor, criticism acts as a powerful tool that leads to immediate changes and refinement. It completely eliminates any personal assumptions you may have about your performance. Once criticism is received, the guessing stops and the improvements begin. Excuse me. Number 7. Public speaking is not stressful. Indeed, if the President of the United States can speak in front of the world without breaking a sweat, then laymen like us should have no problem delivering a speech to 1/100,000th of the audience. With the proper mindset and continual training, each and every action in existence can be performed without mental stress. Sounds like a fairy tale, doesn't it? It's one that's actually true, and it's something to strive for. Number 8. Perfection is not an ally. Those who doubt their public speaking skills have likely looked at people such as Steve Jobs or Donald Trump and said, "I could never have the wit, charm, or clarity they have when speaking in public." Remember that the sole purpose of a speech is to provide a snippet of value to other people. You could literally forget your words, drop your cue cards, and not make eye contact with anyone and still have a successful speech. If those individuals walk away from the speech with a sense of inspiration, happiness, or they learn something new, then they will likely consider the event a success. Keep this simple idea in mind, and a great weight will be lifted from your shoulders. Number 9. Stick with 2 to 3 important points. An interesting fact is that most individuals remember only a select few tidbits of information from a particular event, like a public speech. This fact makes talking about a bunch of topics completely irrelevant. You want the visitors to walk away with a very specific seed planted within their minds, not a foggy jumble of half-thoughts. Passionate people can speak about even a single point for the duration of their speech. Removing the topical complexity from the speech not only helps the audience, but makes the public speaking experience easier to orchestrate. And finally, number 10. Break the rules. Every mainstream and respected method of doing anything was pioneered by someone who invented it. Some of the greatest innovations, inventions, and solutions to problems came about due to someone being themselves and doing something that they believed in. Give yourself permission to be yourself in front of an audience, and magical things will happen. How could you live with yourself knowing that the person you see on stage is not you, but an image of someone you crafted inside your head that you believe to be the proper and ideal speaker? The best public speakers did not walk onto the stage trying to be a public speaker. They tried to be themselves. When people saw them for who they are, they liked what they saw because it was unique. Taking on the attributes of other public speakers will result in a cookie-cutter public speaker that is not unique or memorable. For more speech tips, please visit WeddingSpeechMaster.com. At Wedding Speech Master, we help people to give a knockout speech in weddings or any other type of speech. Thank you.